Hello again, everyone. How's it going today? Happy Wednesday. We are back for some more Lego building, this time with the Blacktron Renegade. Icon set that they released because the gift with purchase that they did for Blacktron was so popular that they decided to make a whole set. And the Galaxy Explorer did relatively well too. I think it didn't do well in part because Walmart, I think it did well for Lego initially, but then Walmart put it on, just constantly put it on deep discount. And that basically meant everyone who wanted one got one, and so it wasn't selling well for Lego anymore. I'll be very curious to see if Lego does more Walmart things like that. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this one open and started. I'm actually on the wrong instruction booklet. That is the one that I want. So this is basically like a reimagining of the Blacktron Renegade from 1985, 86, something like that. I forgot the exact year. There we go. Alright, that's a 6. That's a 3. That's a 2. There's a 7. I never actually got the original. There's 1. Get that on there. There's 8. There's 5. And 4. Alright, so 8 bags. And I really, honestly, do not like it when Lego produces a set with 2 different sized instruction booklets. I find that incredibly frustrating. Blacktron is essentially space pirates? Yeah, pretty much. That's why they came out with the Space Police! And of course the Futron for, people to, pirate off of, shall we say. You had the original along with the Batrax and the Message Intercept base. I only had the 2 small ones, actually. I did have extra minifigs through the minifig packs and Space Police, but I never actually Space was tertiary for me at the time. It was Town, then Castle, then Space for me. So here is the remake torso, which does have back printing, which is awesome. I should really pull out one of my original minifigs and compare the torso, the front torso. See how that goes. Or see how that compares. Alright, finding black legs in this is going to be a pain. There's a helmet. There's the visor. Which, again, these were the first sets that had the new helmets with the visors, and the first thing they did was black helmets and black visors. Pretty darn cool. Pretty darn cool. Alright, there's the legs. I will say this. I kind of would prefer rather than a reimagining of the original ship designs, I would kind of rather have new things. Just something completely new. Also, nice, shiny Blacktron guy with a classic smiley. He's just so happy to be Blacktron. Back to LEGO Blacktron. When we reminisce about the LEGO space theme heyday of the late 1970s and 80s, the Blacktron Renegade 6954 always seems to hover in orbit right above us. Since its release in 1987, it has continued its journey through time and space as one of LEGO space fans' top favorite models. Part of the appeal is how it speaks to builders' imagination and allows them to invent their own extraordinary stories about these first mysterious villainous Blacktron forces in the LEGO Space Story universe. Who are they? Where do they come from? And what do they want? A strong black and yellow color scheme emphasized the bad guys' look in their uniforms and vessels. And transparent yellow windshield and transparent red highlights added design unity and coolness to the series. The extremely versatile design allowed builders to be really creative with their play and displays. All sets were composed of modules, so multiple sets could be combined or separated into various forms. At the time, it was a completely groundbreaking LEGO design and would inspire new generations of space-themed models. They did something similar with the Blacktron 2 with the modularity, but they went with a different design that wasn't quite so villainous in feel. But I will say that one thing that Blacktron 2 had going for it was the globe cockpit, which was just such an amazing design. Feel like you're over whatever you had last week? That's fantastic news, Bahamut. I'm glad to hear it. Blacktron. And there's the classic one there with the box. I do like that they brought back the logo as well. Has a little rover. We get a bigger rover this time. From the LEGO design team, we're extremely excited to revive 6954 Blacktron Renegade, combined with elements from 6894 Invader and 6941 Batrax for fans of all ages. Staying true to the classic asymmetrical Renegade design, we decided to make this new version about 1.5 times larger. This gave us the opportunity to enhance the model with more advanced features, fun functions, and exciting building techniques. We also fit 2 pilots into the cockpit, built a new dropship function, and the small cargo rover can now be dropped directly from the ship. The small spaceship on both sides of the original wings were reborn as a new type of space scooter with a new classic-looking droid. With a new universal connection. With a new universal connection, all modules of the ship can be built independently and freely combined front and back. So put on your spacesuit, get ready for takeoff, and invite your friends and family to share the building experience. Howdy, Farron. How's it going? Okay, so we got 1 and 2 there. And then there is a third set of instructions to build a mobile walker, similar to the Invader, which was a second year, I think it was 1988, Blacktron set. I had that one. A close inspection of the Blacktron flight suit reveals upgraded equipment on the back of the torso, first observed during the encounter with 40580 Blacktron Cruiser. Go ahead and build our little robot. Where's the hinge? There it is. Okay, finding the black pieces in all of this black is going to be a little bit of a pain. Where's the top? Oh, hinge top, there you are. Howdy, Vigastry, how's it going? Okay, 1 by 1 with 2 side studs. Most of the pieces for the robot are in this bag. I think Blacktron was the Blacktron Lego Maniac. I think it was Jack, and then I think it was Zach, and then I think it was Mac. Is that why they make those other sets so multicolored? It is part of it, yeah. Okay, get our classic robot arms on here. Also used as socket wrenches. 1x1 brick with 5 studs. I'd have to go back and look at the ads again. It has been a while. 1x1 cylinder tile. And another lever. This robot appears to be a corrupted Blacktron version of the standard support robot issued with a 6952 solar power transporter. Get our little robot up there. Okay, and then we will start on the rover. Get into my fingers, please. Let's see. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and then right in there. Red 2x2 cylinder bricks with hollow studs. Technicols. This is Zelda's favorite spaceship brand. Also quite popular with a certain Japanese daimyo. I think it's some Mori, but I'm not positive on that. Or is it the Hojo? No, I think it's a Hojo, now that I think about it. Whatever, I'm no expert on that. Alright, trans red 1x1 bricks, plates, whatever. I am very tired. I did not get a whole lot of sleep last night. It's always fun. Always fun. Something woke me up, so... And it's a time of year, well, I can never really get back to sleep very often, but this time of year is just terrible for that. There we go. Hojo clan symbol. There we go, yeah. 1x2 brick there. Okay, and 1x4 Technic bricks. Trans red 1x2 plate. 1x1 plates in black. And some Technic pins. And we'll make a second one of these. Well, yeah, but the symbol is the Triforce symbol, shall we say. Even if the colors are different. And trans red. There we go. Alright, these go on right here and right here. There we go. Yellow 4x4. This 1x2 tile slopes seem ever so slightly off. Weird. I have seen that a few times. They might have a mold that's slightly off or something like that. Remember Space Station set with a weirdly shaped ship with built-in cruiser and rover? Yeah, so the non-symmetrical Blacktron ship, that's the Renegade. We're building a remake of that. A reimagining. I only had the Invader and the, what was a small ship? Blanking on it. Yep, 1987. Oops, that goes on top. There we go. Alright, red 2x3 and a pair of 1x2 plates with top clips. Yellow 2x2 and some more yellow plates here, and 1x2s. No, not the really small one. I did have that one. There was the Batrax, the Renegade, and then another ship that I'm blanking on its name. In the first year, 1987. I'd have to go look it up. I'm bad at names, unfortunately, sometimes. All right, so we got a new computer printing right here, and we have another one right there, which has an image of a Blacktron guy there. Still trying to farm poison arrows in FF4 PR? Where'd it go? Oh, Invader. Okay, then what was the walker from the second year? That's why it was throwing me off. The Alienator, right. That's why I can never remember that one. It's weird. It feels different from the others. Yeah, I had the Invader and the Alienator. And that's what the third instruction looks like. That looks like a giant-sized Alienator. Oh, well, wish them a happy birthday for us. Thank you. I mean, thank you for letting us know. I hope that they have a good one. Naps included. All right, 2x2 inverted slopes. Okay, and some corner plates. So yeah, unfortunately I did not get as many of the Blacktron sets as I wanted. I did get the Futron monorail transport system, though. That was pretty awesome. Alright, black 1x2, yellow 1x2, a pair of inverted cutout slopes. I think these are the last two. The only one that I didn't get was the last one, unfortunately. Proving my point on being more of a town fan than a space fan. my favorite monorail is, of course, the airport shuttle. There was a fourth one planned, and it was going to be... I don't know when it was going to be. It might have been before the third one was actually done. I don't know. But there was going to be a new space theme that was planetary. So it was going to have Futron figures and these new aquatic aliens, and the monorail was going to be above water and underwater. Howdy, Cloud Warthog. How's it going? Some of the concepts eventually got rebooted into the AquaZone sets. Not the aliens, though. I'm disappointed that they never rebooted the alien, like, never found a way to release the alien figures from that. Those really would have been our first non-human minifigs. Like, with slightly different molds on the torso and heads and stuff. No lizard emote here? No. I should. I do need to get some more emotes here. Alright, let's see, what is that going to be? Let's put it there. Alright, another tile with print, and it is the same one there. Collection was mostly space-themed, except for the truck stop set. Yeah, Big Rig Truck Stop. I love that set. I got that one, too. That one was one of my favorites. Okay, get that in there. Trans red 1x2, and there. Howdy, Freelancer Prince. Yes, Blacktron is kind of bee colored, although more black than yellow. So. I just call them flying ants. That's what they are. Alright, then the canopy. Blacktron engineers have reversed the optics of the standard space exploration camera and converted it into a laser blaster. Aha. So confirmation that these elements are used as blasters. Bees better than ants? I don't know. I'm a big fan of ants. When they're not in my house, I should say. When they're not in my house. Fewer bees want to eat your house? Well, don't let your house taste good. Jeez. Duh. No, I just realized where these two are supposed to go. I forgot to get them on. There we go. Alright, so spare parts. We got 1x1 plates in black and trans red. Trans yellow 1x1 cylinder tile. Black 1x1 cylinder plate. Black 3L bar. Black friction pin. Black on black lever. And a black visor. Nice selection of extra parts. And a very cool little rover. And it's not so little compared to the original Renegade, that's for sure. There we go. He's so happy to be a pirate. Just living my best life, being a villain. And get the robot in the back. Yeah, it also kind of, like, it feels kind of, like, Colonial Marines dropship-like as well, with the, you know, the smooth side here and the way that this is done. I like it. I like it. Yo-ho-ho, pirate's life for me. Alright, bag number 2. And we got 2 minifigs in this one. Get in the box. I think that that space theme that I mentioned, I think that was going to be Seatron. I think that's what it was. Let's put those aside for the moment. Definitely put that aside for the moment. It is printed. There's the other legs. Visor. Visor. Helmet and helmet. There we go. Oh, wait. Need the air tanks. There's one, and there's the other. I wish they'd bring back the Futron minifigs as well. I like those guys. Like, in addition to Classic Space. Like, I like Classic Space too, but we could get, like, all the cool new colors in Futron. Yeah, it kinda does need air to breathe. Kinda. Which is why they also put their visors up, you know? I don't know why, but I prefer the look of these helmets with the visors up versus visor down. Not just when it's black on black, but when you got a transparent visor of any sort as well. I just think it looks better that way, aesthetically. I don't know. So I was always basically like a stickler for making sure that my space guys always had their visors up. Which, you know, I mean, kinda dangerous for them, right? A little bit. I like this piece being a transition from the 6 wide to the 4 wide double inverted slope. Who needs protection from solar radiation? Not these guys, because they're plastic. I mean, remember, life in plastic, it's fantastic. Howdy, Sarah. New here. Just wanted to say you've been watching my Dragon Quest III walkthrough on YouTube, and it's been super helpful. Just want to say thank you. You're very welcome. Is that the old SNES one or the new stream VODs? Alright, so we got a dark gray 1x2 round end brick, and we get a clip. There we go. Okay, 2x2 corners. Yes, first episode did go live a couple hours ago. Actually, no, yesterday. Second episode went live today. Because I'm now breaking them up into 6 episodes, I'm starting them on Tuesday rather than Wednesday. The old SNES one. Didn't know I was playing the new one. Yes. So I have a VODs channel. Let me go ahead and get the links up. And that is specifically for the stream footage now. I'm putting the streams up on that channel now because they get lower view counts, and that is detrimental overall to the channel. But I am putting up playlists on the main channel as well. Gonna watch that later. Excellent. Yeah, I stream that on Mondays. We just started on this past Monday, so pretty early into it. I'm very much liking the new look. Very much finding that even on Draconian quests, it's kind of easy. There we go. And a little bit of dust there. All right, we got two computer tiles there and there. Like, they give you so many seeds. It's kind of ridiculous. I think that I will be distributing them more to the rest of the party rather than just the hero. Looks like I'm ready for Champagne No Annuals from what you gathered. Yeah, I think they renamed it, though. There we go. 2x2 brick here. I did load up another game just to like look through the well, it was originally just to look through the the new character models and everything like that, and I kind of played a lot. The upgraded ship can fit 2 pilots. Twice as many Blacktron agents means twice the danger to the galaxy. But they do have taillights, so you know. Where is the other bracket? There it is. Why would you ever give stat-improving items to anyone but the protagonist? Because it makes the protagonist a little too overpowered. Alright, let's get our hinge pieces. We need 2 of these. Not that. That one. Alright. There we go. Alright, and flip it over for one of these elements right on there with a yellow 1x1 cylinder plate with hollow stud. Flip it back over for a triangular tile. Okay, and that is going all the way back here. Much smaller than than the original, that's for sure. Well, what flavor is pure yum? That's an important question there, Bahamut. Made the mistake of not knowing the importance of classes, wasted more hours than you'd like to admit before deciding to do your research before starting fresh. It's a fun game, though. Dragon Quest V and 11 are your favorites. Those are good ones. Those are good ones. I'm thinking, like, I'm okay with the party composition for the most part, but I think I want a thief right now. And the main reason is because I do want nose for treasure, so that I know if there is a, you know, if I've gotten all the treasures on a level, because there's a lot of hidden treasures. So before I get too much further, I think that I do want to go swap someone out with a thief. The nice thing is that, like, you do get to change classes for characters later on. So that you knows if you got all the treasures? Yes, exactly. There's also some things that I'll want Padfoot for. And those are both thief abilities. Alright. Half cylinders here and here. Oh yeah, sages, I'm fully expecting sages to be incredibly powerful. Just gotta do your time as a jester, as a gadabout. You don't have to, but why wouldn't you? If you're gonna go sage. Okay, 1x2 bricks. I do really like the new in-combat character sprites, although I'm hoping I would like it to show the other side occasionally or something like that, so you're not just looking at their backs. You want to be a sage, but it takes too much time? Have you changed classes into Big Mac? Is that what's going on? Alright, 2x2 with click hinges. Go. And a 1x4 plate. 2x4 plate there. 2x2 tile. And the slopes with cutouts. Not a class change there, you just have more restraint when it comes to unleashing your punny side. These tiny little wings. They're so tiny. Alright. We got our D-snots, as they're called. Sadly, there were not any available at the LEGO store last time I was there. I think they may have gotten all purchased out. One by ones with clips. And another 1x2 plate with round ends right on there, and some inverted curve slopes. New module linking system looks to be a lot more robust than the single Technic pin of the original. Well, it was two Technic pins for the original, just because one would rotate, but it is a... I think that they like it because if you're trying to connect two pieces together with Technic bricks, Technic pins, they tend to have to connect just right, or they catch, and it can be a little difficult. And I think that's why they're going with these the clips instead for both Space and Castle now. More corner bricks, and 1x2 with side studs. And round and 1x2 with a pair of clear 1x1 cylinder tiles on the end. Okay, back here. Plain 1x2 tile, or a tile slope, 1x1 tile slopes to either side. And levers with yellow bases. There we go. Okay. Corner plate. Oh, that corner plate really wanted to get in there. It's like, I get to fly, whee! Some top clips, 1x2 top clips, and trans red 1x1 plates. But yeah, I had a commenter saying that they stopped giving seeds, the various seeds to characters until the post game, just because they were getting so powerful. I don't know if I'll do that, because, you know... I had challenge in the original playthrough. Pretty good challenge, really. There we go, and that goes on there. So the secondary characters kind of have a better opportunity for maxing out, but there are some things that I would like to even out some of the their stats for, I think, the other characters, especially when it comes to like agility. If I wanted more challenge, why did I choose the starting quiz? I didn't say I wanted more challenge. That on there. We get 1 by 3 tiles. And red 1 by 1 plates. Like, there is a difference between it being very breezy and not so breezy. Okay, we have a new computer panel here on a 2 by 2 tile. There we go. Rather than 2 by 2 slopes. The main reason that I cheesed the opening quiz is because the leaving it completely up to random chance has the has the chance of giving you a really bad personality type. And I did not want a really bad personality type. And if I'm gonna cheese the quiz anyway, I might as well get the good personality type. Okay. This is an angled flag element. Get that on there. In there. HP penalty and MP penalty personality. So every personality has something going for it. Like, they're not... There are bad personality types, but there's no, like, completely worthless personality type where, like, everything is negative. You're gonna get a bonus to something, but there are some that have, like, an overall score of minus 50, minus 60%, which is pretty significant. Whereas there's one that's plus 70%, that's one that I got, and then there's a couple that are plus 60, and then there's a bunch that are, you know, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5 kind of thing. Yeah, well, that's why they went with the personality. Because it's a bit better in terms of giving you more, like, you can't change your name, but you could always go back through, you know, even if you don't know what the questions mean and everything like that, you can go through and try answering the questions differently to get something else. Otherwise, you just have to put in your name differently. Like, put in a different name. Alright, so there are our two pilots. We can flip the wings out like that. It's got either guns or sensors. Alright, spare parts. We got a black 1x1 tile, dark red 1x1 tile slope, a black on yellow base lever, yellow 1x1 cylinder plate with hollow stud, and a clear 1x1 cylinder tile. Okay. So the thing about having a character, like having the name be the determining factor, is that it kind of has this element of saying, like, Joe isn't as good as John, kind of thing. Like, it's kind of dickish. It's not a great way of doing it, in my opinion. And I think that's how they feel. I think that's how they felt. Alright. So that is the first booklet. Now we go to the second booklet. Bag number 3. These are interesting new dual inverted arch elements, because they're hollow. And we get quite a few of them. Holy cow, 6 of them. That is a lot. Or giving weight to blood type, yeah. Like, especially for a little kid, you know. Little kid Joe puts in his name in the game, and then later finds out that Joe is bad because your character has terrible stat growth. It kind of says, like, that's kind of saying your name is bad. Oh, Sarah, thank you very much for the Prime subscription. I really do appreciate that. Okay, turn the box around the other way so it stops falling. There we go. Alright, 1x4. Technic brick. There. Those over here. Puts in Bahamut as the name and gets the best stats. What if your name is Zelda playing through the original NES release? Well, then you just think the game is really freaking hard. Alright, let's get lots of Technic pins in here. Another one in there, and okay, match up these. Why does nothing match any of these maps in Nintendo Power? Yeah. Alright, the other 1x4, that is going to go on there. And there we go. Alright. Well, maybe someone just photocopied some of them or something. So I'm coming up on the point in Lufia 2 where I have the potential of going into the Ancient Cave, but that's like many, many, many hours of the game. So I'm not sure if I'm not sure when I'm going to do that, if I do that, because it's completely optional. May wait until near the end or post-game or something like that. I haven't decided yet. Fine as a bonus episode. Yes, bonus episode. That's what it would be. A bonus episode. I mean, I'm gonna do a full run in the playthrough at some point. Give me that 12-plus hour episode. Yeah, it's lengthy. It is a little lengthy. Who needs sleep or sanity? I mean, most people are awake for more than 12 hours. At least if they're not a baby. Or have just pulled a very long shift at work. Obviously, I'd do it in shorts format. Oh my god. Imagine that. So I have seen that there is a, not a cheese strat, but there is a weapon that has a high chance of instant death. So it is something that can shave off a considerable amount of time from a run. I will definitely be making use of that. Clips on Twitch. Alright, flip it over. We get 2x2s. Alright, 4x4 plates. Right there. And right there. 2x4 there. 2x4 right there. But yeah, so for those who don't know, the Ancient Cave is a... it's basically a mystery dungeon where the layout changes every time you go in. There are some fixed elements to it, but the goal is to make your way down to level 99. I don't know if there are any save points along the way. Obviously, I'm playing on an emulator, so I can save state. I'm not sure if they expected you to try to do that, like, in one sitting. Obviously, there are ways to get out early, but, you start your characters out at level 1 with, almost no equipment. Yeah, it is 99 floors. And it does get progressively harder as you go. Move these up there a little bit more. There we go. But of course, you're leveling up. Palace of the Dead from FF14? I don't know. It's a mystery dungeon. Like that is a type of game in Japan. I don't think it really had that much popularity here. But I do kind of want to do the Tornaco's Mysterious Dungeon at some point. The Dragon Quest one. Zerfall has done a... Did he ever finish it? I don't know if he ever finished that, now that I think about it. But you play as Torneko from Dragon Quest IV. But yeah, so the Ancient Cave, almost all the items that you get in the Ancient Cave you cannot take out in Lufia 2. There are red chests and there are blue chests, and everything in a blue chest you get to keep. But almost everything in the red chests you do not get to keep. So they're just there as fodder for you to use in your rundown kind of thing. Alright, where is the rubber piece? There we go. Where's the other one? Since as long as I am trying to get them, there we go. Alright. That's what the palace is. Every floor is randomly generated up to the bosses. Dungeon has its own leveling track for classes and gear, and the only things you pick up are potions and things to smash on the ground for random effects. Well, you do get items, and you can keep some items, and things that were in blue chests that you found in the main game, those do. What do I do with the red? Excellent. Oh, it's in there. That's why. That's why I didn't see it. But yeah, that does sound... If it's... and there's only a certain way to get out, like you have to find like an item to use to escape out early kind of thing, Lord Canis? If so, that is a mystery dungeon. Final Fantasy does have a Chocobo's mysterious dungeon. And of course, something like Reciteer is basically all built around the mystery dungeon premise. There we go. Get that on there. Alright, 4 of these, huh? Alright. Okay, that is one of them. Remember one palace run you did, everyone died, but you were a healer who could speed cast res spells, so you were bringing people up, stapling tarot cards to their faces for buffs. But that's what it is like, if you want to get out early, you have to find a specific item and use that, right? Right, there's another one of those. Because ease of leaving is always one of the big things about mystery dungeons. Is they're not easy to leave. But yeah, so a run through the ancient cave in Lufia 2 would be many episodes. So I need to decide on when I do that. It's not an if, it is a when. But I do need to decide on a when. There are a few things that you can get that you're able to keep Like a lot of the gems that we use, like B-rocks and stuff like that. The Gades blade is actually an item that we get to take in there. So, like when I do, well, yeah, but I mean, again, we're looking at probably 20 plus episodes of not doing the story. Like, that's a lot. Like, not advancing the game at all and doing what is an elaborate side quest. 20 plus episodes of not doing the story sounds like an average LP for you. Yeah. It's fair. You know, now that I think about it, that is kind of what that cave-in Tactics Ogre is, and they did have one of those in the Yakuza games. I should have realized. You're not starting out fresh in those, but they are still kind of mystery dungeons. Okay, we're making 4 of these, huh? Alright. So this is 1. Didn't realize that there were 4 of these to make. Who needs plot progression? Well, if it causes a drop-off in views, then I kinda do. I will probably save it for the end. Like, doing it early only gets me stuff, a few items that I can use outside of the dungeon anyway, and I don't know that they're necessarily necessary, nor... Like, I'm not even sure how good they'd actually be. I mean, I got the Gades blade already. Permanent damage over time until you beat the boss? That's rude. That's terrible. That's a terrible mechanic. I mean, I tried playing Minecraft, and it wasn't exactly a success for me. It was fun, but not exactly a success. Probably because it wasn't modded in any way. I wasn't speedrunning it. Anything like that. There is Lego Fortnite, though. Not that I have any desire to play Fortnite. I did have someone comment on my update video asking when I was going to play 7 Days to Die, and I was like, I vaguely know what that is, and I think I know what that is. Let me go look it up just to make sure. Oh yeah, no, that is not a game that I am likely to play. It was an element of, have you seen what I do on the channel, sir? Oh, yeah, Cody, how's it going? It was just funny because normally I'm used to getting, when are you going to play this JRPG that is kind of up your alley? All right. I see what these are. Okay. So there we go. There we go. There we go. And there we go. I do get that occasionally too. I do occasionally get that. All right. So, one spare part, a yellow half bushing. That is our spare part here. All right, bag number 4. I mean, I will say that at least, a question like that has the excuse of YouTube is terrible at making a channel with a large number of playlists easy to navigate. In fairness to those people. Fair of that question, it can take a while to search through your YouTube playlists? Yes, yeah. Exactly. Mega Cayman Official, how's it going? Let me go ahead and get you a shout out there. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that raid. How's it going? You were playing Devil May Cry 2? Congratulations. We're just doing some Lego building tonight. The worst one in the series. I have not played any of them, so I do not know. It's always nice to survive the worst game of a series, though. Alright, more large pieces to set aside. Oh, got another one of those. And a fourth one of those. So these have been out of production for a while, I think. I feel like there's a slight change in the mold here. I wonder if they just redid the mold entirely or if they just had them put away. But I don't know that they've come out in black before. Pretty neat. Usually open the playlist tab, scroll all the way down, then Control F to look for whatever thing you're curious about. Yeah, like, needing to load up all of them is kind of annoying. I mean, I do try to have the that sorted, that organized list there on the channel main page, but even that's not, like, it can still get unwieldy. And YouTube does not, like, really give you any good playlist sorting methods, playlist presentation methods. They're very limited and stuff like that. It's really crummy. Have a good stream. All right, thank you very much for the raid. Have a good rest of your night. I really do appreciate you sharing your community with us, and once again, congratulations on that victory. Never knew there was a 2 until 3 came out. That's, sounds like some pretty solid marketing on their part. I've seen a little bit of one of them. I could not say which one it was. But yeah, like the whole point of the categorized lists was supposed to make it easier, but I think they've been making some changes to make that less useful, which really sucks. It just goes to my statements about how YouTube does not want serialized content on their platform anymore. They really don't. Oops, a 1x4 goes on under there. There we go. It really is bizarre how much YouTube just does not seem to want people to use their site if if they create certain types of content. I don't know why. I do not know why. There we go, get that on. Well, I'm hoping that by breaking out the advertising, that will allow for some more interesting uses of YouTube, shall we say? I don't know. I mean, it really should be separated off from Google entirely. Alright, let's see. Right here, across the gap. Nope. Right there. Well, I'm not actually sure if YouTube has ever made money. That's the thing. Google CEO says breaking their monopoly will hurt their innovation. Oh no! I know. How terrible. We totally believe them. They would never lie, right? So the funny thing is, like, stepping away from Google for a moment, Apple with their the judgment against them for like basically ignoring a court order about the Apple Store. Like, that was in a case where Apple basically won everything that they wanted, except for that little bit. YouTube used to celebrate when you hit 100,000 views. Now it ignores your existence if you don't get that in the first 5 minutes your video's posted. I'm not even sure if I have anything that's hit 100,000. I might have one thing. Let me see. Let me see. Yes, just barely. The first episode of XCOM Terror from the Deep 13 years ago is over 100K. It's so part of it is it's definitely so that they can have an ad monopoly. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if one of the reasons why YouTube has never made money is because they're saying, oh, YouTube's not making money. Google AdSense makes money, though. That kind of thing. They do that with Twitch, and yet they just came down on all of the video content on their servers, so I don't know. Okay, 1x4s with 1x2 plates with bars. Like, modern creative accounting in Hollywood is bad. The old style where you subsidize, like, a whole bunch of movie, like, you basically are taking kind of a shotgun approach to movie making, of just, like, making tons and tons and tons of movies of various sizes, hoping that one of them hits it big and you make all your money back. That's okay. Because that gets us lots and lots of movies. Like, you would not have the kind of amazing mid-budget period of the 90s without that. And there's some fun movies from that period that are by no means, like, good, high-quality cinema, but are entertaining, you know, entertaining watches. Do I have any interest in doing Suzerain playthrough? I don't really know what that is. I know Grimmeth has been playing it, but I haven't really looked into it, so I don't know much about it. Okay, so this goes here. And here. And that popped off right there. Yeah. Yeah, because it basically, like, it is basically impossible to truly predict what movies are going to be the cultural phenomenon that the big blockbusters were. Like, there was no way to predict Jaws. That it would be so big and everything like that. You just can't. So they throw a lot of things at the wall and see what sticks. And that means that you get lots of movies. And then also, like, you subsidize a lot. Like, there's also just, you know, money to be made in, like, mid-budget dramas and stuff like that, or there used to be. Definitely recommend checking out Suzerain. It's a really interesting storytelling game where you get to be the third president in a republic and try to change it in difficult world. Maybe I'll check out Grimmeth's videos. I don't know. One thing I like about RPGs is that I don't actually have to think that much about most of them. They tend to be very, very natural, easy plays for me. Like, honestly, that's one of the reasons why I'm playing Daggerfall right now. And playing it specifically the way I am, of just, like, checking out all the quests. Because it means I don't have to think much. And I just do the commentary, play along with the game, and it gives me escape from things that I would rather not think about right now. Like, I stopped playing CK2 for a variety of reasons, and CK3. But one of the reasons is just they require a lot of thinking and processing during the playthrough, and they're kind of exhausting. And I got tired of that exhaustion. Like, LPing games is not energy-free, so to speak. It does take energy to play them. I don't have a whole lot of energy these days. Daggerfall, isn't that whole game a political nightmare? I mean, when you can just, like, go exploring the world and going off on quests and slaughtering enemies relatively easily because you built a combat-capable character, does the politics really matter? Daggerfall is more of an everything nightmare. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I mean, really, the most amount of thinking you have to do in Daggerfall generally is trying to navigate the dungeons, and that's fine. I mean, I don't find that particularly exhausting. I don't find navigating Daggerfall dungeons particularly difficult, either. Nightmare that just repeats halt over and over again. Halt. 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 Where is it? Where is it? I know I have it. Oh, no, I have that on Discord. Dang it. Well, yeah, it was funny. I had someone comment saying that I should turn up the difficulty, which there isn't a difficulty setting in Daggerfall. Difficulty is you make a character who is not good. That is how you get Daggerfall difficulty. They were not user-friendly. No, that's true. They were harder to use in originally. That is true. But they are... Oops, I forgot to get that on there. They're still not that bad for me. I mean, everyone's different, so... Okay, get this on here. There we go. Bag number 5. I think I might want to play Bard's Tale, the Trilogy Collection. So the problem with Bard's Tale is that it's like a lot of those early games where most of the gameplay is... You need to go grind for hours. Maybe not hours, but you need to go grind a lot. I played them a little bit at a friend's house way back. not a whole lot, but like, one thing that I will say for the AD&D Gold Box games, and really most of the AD&D games of the era in general, is that you didn't need to grind. They did not have grinding built in. You just noticed they were on sale? That's fair. That's fair. I mean, again, I might play them someday. I don't have a whole lot of experience with them. And what I've looked into just seemed to indicate, like, you know, I mean, again, I played them a little bit as a kid, and I don't remember that much. Just, you know, fighting a lot. And, like, I just remember that being the main thing that you kind of have to do. And I guess to a certain extent, there is that in Daggerfall, but I guess I would say that the difference in Daggerfall is that things feel a little bit more varied. I think the 3D nature of it makes a big difference, if that makes sense. I don't know. I mean, I'm open to differing opinions. If I got it wrong, I'm open to hearing about it. One of the remake Bard's Tale games has Carrie Elways with snarky dialogue. Well, that's good. I do approve of a snarky Carrie Elways. Because unlike some other Robin Hoods, he can speak with an English accent. Alright, that one goes right in here. I think it was a comedic one that isn't in the same style as the originals. Would that be 4? Because 1 through 3, I know 1 through 3 were out by the time the Bard's Tale construction kit came out, which I did play around with. Like I have better memories of playing around with that at my friend's house. Get that in there. Okay, lots of large plates. That will lock that in. Oh, fair enough. I don't know. I don't know much about, like, the franchise storyline or anything like that. But yeah, like, Pool of Radiance, for example. You load up the game and you just, like, if you go through the events, you know, if you skip out on quests and things like that and you don't go exploring, then you won't be at max level and stuff like that. But if you do, like, really go exploring and everything like that, you'll easily be a high enough level for the end game. And I just got the impression that games like Wizardry or the early Wizardries at least, and Bard's Tales were not like that. Same thing with Might and Magic. It's one of the reasons why I don't really have any plans or desires to play those. I do have a Fallout 1 LP. Yep. Yes, I do. And 2. I have 2 as well. I have had some people asking me to play New Vegas and 3. Obviously, like, 3 should be super duper easy for me since that is totally local. I should be able to navigate around everywhere in that that game, which I'm sure it has a completely 100% accurate depiction of the Washington D.C. area. Have I heard of the Fantasy Trilogy? I have heard of it. Don't know that much about it. My house is a crater full of Mirelurks or Raiders or Super Mutants, no idea, honestly. I'm sure my house is perfectly intact. Early XCOM games were sort of easier at higher difficulties because the extra UFOs gave you lots of loot. Yeah, there was a kind of an odd sliding scale to that, where you can have an easier time getting money, but the enemies are harder. But it kind of becomes like, I mean, to a certain extent, that's kind of the reward of being better at the combat. Both Fallout 3 and New Vegas are quite good, but not really comparable to 1 or 2. No, they're not. New Vegas, I've seen a partial LP of 3, because Boba the Vulture played through a lot of it, but then I think his save got corrupted, so he never was able to finish it. He was also local at the time. So I have some experience with that, but I don't really remember it that much. New Vegas, I watched all of Mysterious JG's LP of that. And that one I do think is, story-wise, better and more interesting because it is connected to 1 and 2. But they're also open-world first-person RPGs, which is a very different game. Those would be very long LPs or streams. So I don't know what I would do. Howdy, Shield of Hope. How's it going? You never forgave the open XCOM game during Kiko's stream of it? What's that, Bahamut? Tried to play Fallout 4, did not really get into it, just felt off somehow. Yeah, that's the impression that I've gotten. I did watch a little bit of a partial LP. I don't think the person ever actually finished it. and I cannot remember who that was. That may have been Lethal Feline. But I don't recall. You were a named guy in Kiko's XCOM stream, and then near the end of the third XCOM stream, an alien got you? I mean, that's gonna happen. That's XCOM. Not dying in XCOM is a miracle. If you expect to live, well, your expectations are a little high. Okay, so that will fit in there. That will fit in there. The alien didn't react to the tank, but you moved and the alien was like, movement, shoots. Hey, that just means the tank rolled its check well. If I use your name, you expect to never. You expect me to never get you killed? Most of us in Ald's XCOM teams were on at least the 4th generation of naming. Yeah, it was great how high some of those got. And there was like 1 or 2 people who came in very early on and never got killed too. All right, spare parts: yellow 1x1 plate and red friction half bushing. Not half bushing, half pin. Blah. Like I said, I'm tired. Brain no worky. It's a tank. How the heck does anything not notice it? It was on silent running mode. Maybe the alien was just like an alien mecha fan. He was like, "Ooh, human machine, so neat. Oh God, filthy, ugly human. Must shoot. Pew pew." Did you remember Red Shirt 12 at one point? Yeah, that was I think I may have, after a few times, I think Red Shirt may have been like, you know what? Let's just always send him in first. Why not? I especially did enjoy with Zakad how he survived so many crazy hits and then just would, like, end up in the infirmary forever. It was so good. It was so good. Where's the other one? There's the other one. I think someone did eventually surpass him in Infirmary days, though. I remember after a few really bad missions that we still succeeded at, but like everyone came out injured. That there were Like, I'd occasionally have a base where I had, like, 10 people in the infirmary and 4 who could go out on a mission kind of thing. That was pretty crazy. I do need to get back to the XCOM files and do that one again. Like, with the music fixed. Weren't operatives promised recuperative ice cream? Yes, yes. And I hear the Muton flavor was most popular. I'm actually kind of surprised that Kakoskia has not done an XCOM Files stream. I mean, it would be very long. Chrysalid sprinkles, yes. That and the Lobsterman, which spawned many butter cannon jokes, yep. Get a Lobsterman mission and it's like, we're eating well tonight, boys! Jokes about eating sentient creatures. Alright, let's see. A couple more brackets. You know, I wonder if there is a an actual mod that puts in a butter cannon. There should be. There really should be. Alright, so we got that, and then another pair on top. Flip it around because we get the T-shape. Alright, then get the axle pins. Only effective against Lobstermen and completely useless against all other aliens, yes. Okay. Trans red 4L bar and 2 trans red 1x1 cones. There we go. Okay, and then the friction pins with ball joints here and here. Brown 5L axles with stops. Oh, and yes, I am still working on those last 2 original stream XCOM files vids. I don't know what's up with them. I don't know if because they had a problem and YouTube support did actually like look at them and did something with them, that they keep finding matches, but it's never more than 5, never more than 4. So that I can keep doing the erase song option. Brown, that's not a registered Blacktron color. Yeah, I know. And neither is red, though, and they use that. So I never get more than for matches, but it does keep finding matches every time they process. So I don't really know what's going on. Well, trans red is. There we go, get that in there. That in there. So it does have a bit of a movement to it. Get these on. There we go. Speaking of having trouble getting things onto Technic pins, and why they moved away from that for connector points. Alright, there we go. And that goes right here. So I have no idea what that's going to actually do. Ever seen a turkey afraid of peacocks? Well, I haven't seen too many turkeys or peacocks, so I can't say that I've ever seen either of them afraid of the other. But I imagine that turkeys tend to be larger. Alright, we got tiles with arrow prints. Turkeys do have the bulk. Yeah, no, I'm just wondering, like, how it's going to work, mainly. Like, I realize it has something to do with holding it, but I don't yet see how that works. Alright, next up. Get these two, and they go there. We get two more on the other side. But I mean, peacocks aren't small either. Right? I say, not really knowing. Having only seen peacocks in pictures and videos. Same thing with turkeys, really. There's a lot of, like, wild animals in this area that I've never actually seen. Peafowl are smaller than turkeys, but bigger than chickens, yeah. Like, it actually wasn't until I was an adult that I saw any live foxes in the area. Well, wild, I should say. I saw foxes at the zoo. I have still never seen a Baltimore Oriole, despite Baltimore Orioles supposedly being quite common in this area. Okay, I think I see how the release mechanism is going to work. It's not this itself, it's going to be what we're putting on here. Did I try my local supermarket? For Baltimore Orioles? What? Okay, I don't know that I've gotten too many of these curved pieces. They're in dark gray rather than black, which is a little unfortunate, but... let's see. 1x4 Technic, double friction pin, and a yellow pin connector. And a 5L axle with stop. See turkeys in small flocks a few times a year. A joy of country living. Yeah, I've not seen any around here. That's for sure. Okay, so this goes here. And we are going to not push that in yet, apparently, for some reason. Doesn't matter. I don't know that turkeys are very common in this area. Where's the bracket? There it is. Okay. There's our printed tile. Get that on, and then these two curved elements. And the 5L axle. Probably never find wild turkeys up in Alaska. I think they're primarily an East Coast thing anyway. There we go. Okay, and push that in. Go. Let me make sure that is all the way in. That is. Let me make sure that one's all the way in. It is. There we go. Okay, got those in. Now, 2x3 brick on either side. And 2x2 slopes. Well, those are species, aren't they? Rather than breeds? Or am I wrong? I remember reading something about peacocks some time back. It's one of the things I do when I don't have a whole lot of else to do, like if I'm waiting in line or trying to get to sleep or something like that. I tend to read Wikipedia. Congo peafowl. Ah, I don't know that I knew about that one. I knew about the other two for sure. Well, I had a fun time arguing with someone recently about whether or not dragons are reptiles. Alright, 2x4 slopes. There and there. 2x2 slope there and there. We have these printed tiles, which are slopes, which are basically the same as an old pair that were on Blacktron sets way back when. Clearly they are birds. Alright, Sealand, have a good rest of your night, and don't forget there will be a VOD, so you can always check that out. Dragons are mammals according to a D&D argument. That D&D argument, that argument is wrong. Flat out wrong. These illuminated glyphs remain unchanged since our last encounter with the Renegade. Though we have not fully translated the Blacktron number color code, we believe it is a warning against using too low a grade of hyperfuel. So basically, the argument really should be either they're reptiles or they are a category separate from all others. And there are some creatures that science does not currently have a, you know, like the so-called mammal-like reptiles from our youths, the pelycosaurs, they're not really in anything right now because they're not mammals. But they're also synapsids, and synapsids are not reptiles. At least by modern... Because here's the thing. Reptiles are paraphyletic, meaning that, like... Here's the common ancestor. These lineages, if this one leads to mammals, but these three are, and they all branch off at about the same time, this up here is birds, then this, and this are paraphyletic, because they're not actually within a group. The single common ancestor was something else. But these all share enough things. Like, basically, explain synapsids to you. So it's all about the number of holes in the skull. Turtles are, I want to say, anapsids because they have no holes in their skulls. And they're one branch. Tuataras are another. They are a single species in its own branch. They look like lizards, but they're not. They're off on their own as well. And then snakes and lizards are a branch. And then you have archosaurs leading to crocodiles, which are reptiles. But that also leads to dinosaurs and birds. And you can, like... The classic understanding of dinosaurs is now non-avian dinosaurs because birds are dinosaurs. They're also archosaurs. So are crocodiles, which are reptiles. So it's like... Dragons share all of the features of reptiles with the possible exception of warm-bloodedness. But... if non-avian dinosaurs are reptiles, then warm-bloodedness is out. Like that's fine. That can be included. That's not something that excludes them. Dragons have hair sometimes, but the other creatures can have hair-like things too. The question is whether, you know, they are found... like whether they are formed the same way that they're formed on mammals. Here's the big thing that separates mammals from everything else. Feel the top of your mouth with your tongue. That is the hard palate. It is fused bones, and because it's fused, it allows us to suck, aka suckle, nurse. So yes, the reason that mammals are what they are because they suck. So, oh, we suck all right, exactly. All right, spare parts. We got a, let's see, is this friction? Yeah. Friction half pin in dark gray and a red bushing. But dragons don't lactate. They do not have milk. And that is what means that they are not mammals. What does matter in the case of, like, longsword +1/+4 versus reptiles, which in earlier editions absolutely works on dragons, meaning that dragons are, certainly for the purposes of that magic item, are reptiles. I like how that fits in there. All right. Let's see, bag number 7. Can actually move this. Let's see, can this, can I stand this up? Yeah. Stand that up back here. There we go. Because we were going to do 2 of these. These are the engines. You've seen some art. I mean, as fictional creatures, they can be whatever you want, but I'm talking specifically about D&D dragons here. D&D dragons are reptiles. They can be warm-blooded. Some of them can even give live birth. Some snakes give live birth. Some sharks give live birth. You prefer the +3/+5 versus dragon options? A Dragon Slayer is a little bit better, actually, because it just does increased damage. Like, I think double or triple damage. That's pretty good. Alright, let's see. So that's that side. We get 1x4 Technic brick there, there. Do we look like Tanis to just be handed a Dragon Slayer? Well, again, those don't exist on Kryn, so, you know. Dragons are mollusks. Actually, someone was asking about mimics today, and my personal opinion is that mimics are mollusks. All right, 2x2 bricks. I mean, ultimately, the question of whether dragons are reptiles, the only thing that it matters for is for the purposes of something that affects reptiles. Artie agrees with my mimic theory. It makes sense. It really does, because they have a very soft, flexible inner bodies that can, you know, change shape pretty easily. Like, squished and stuff like that. They definitely have internal organs, so they're not like amoeboid. They do speak. They don't have telepathy, so they have to have some manner of vocalizing. They are hermit crabs. Well, so they wouldn't have external shells. Like their hard outer covering is still amorphous, but I think it's like it can be liquefied or softened and then formed again. And then it also has photoreceptors on it. Oops. That goes there. And that goes there. Alright. We mix our escargot. Okay. So we got two 8L axles with stops. So, boop. That's true. They're arthropods. That's a good point. I didn't even catch that. But like it came up in my spelljamming game, but piercers are pretty obviously mollusks. Well, it says so, but like they're basically snails, a type of snail. There we go. That there, and clip in there. All in his fancy cladistics, yep. So mind flayers are mollusks? I would say no. I would actually say that they're amphibians. Right, no, they are amphibians. Like they would be more closely related to newts and frogs and salamanders. Artie says cephalopods. So here is why. I mean, number one, it says they're amphibious, but they do have tadpoles. Tadpoles are the spawn of amphibians. Mind you, fish and some other creatures do have some similar types of forms and stuff like that. It gets more headachy if you follow Ceramorphosis, which I deeply dislike. Alright, so it does not matter too much. This is the only signifying element there, and that is just for mold mark purposes, so. There we go. There we go. That fits on there. Artie says tadpoles are more symbiote. So yeah, I mean, like, if you go for Ceramorphosis, sure. It is one of the reasons why I don't like Ceramorphosis. It does not make sense to me. See, there is an axle hole there, but I'm not sure if we're actually deep enough on that to matter. There we go. We got our engines. What do we know of the Days of Thunder amphibian peoples? I think that the Forgotten Realms material supposes that they became, that the Batrachians became, amongst other things, slotty. Again, not a fan of that. Blacktron Engineering has clearly improved in their ingenious modular designs. Aft modules can be reordered as needed for any of their operations. Clip that on. Clip that on. So the reason why I don't like Ceramorphuses is because, again, like I've talked about it before, it creates this element of original sin for them. It makes it very hard to have non-evil ones. I like that. I got no problems with a race that almost entirely chooses to be evil, but I do think that they should have that choice. Oops. And it is very, very difficult to have that choice when the survival of your species literally depends on murdering intelligent creatures. What do I think the Dabus are? They're humanoids of some kind. I have not paid enough attention to them to have a good feel. They have like horns or something, don't they? They are a D&D monster that I've looked at and been like, yeah, I'm not going to use them because they would be a pain in the butt to actually play in the game. I mean, they're definitely. I don't think they're natural. Like, I think that's safe to say, or at least prime material natural. They could be planar natural. Spawned up out of the plains. More rocket power has been added to the Renegade via these fusion-activated energy pods. The range of the Renegade may now be able to reach Futron bases in the quadrant we previously thought secure. Well, I mean, if you're on the plains, then nothing is really an outsider. Or I should say, like, a Tanari creature is not an outsider in the abyss. That's one reason why I don't like that term. I don't know. It not a fan. It kind of gets to the over-categorization of things as well. Not a fan. Not a fan. But that is me. That is why I play 2nd edition and not other editions. Like, the idea of aberration to me also is just like everything should be natural somewhere. Let's see, 1x2 plate, where? There you are. Even things created by the gods. Now you can get... Is that supposed to be trans? Red? We have two... Alright, hold on, let's see. Can I tell? Okay, yeah, it's the solid red ones, not the trans red ones. Good. I need to make that a little bit clearer. Okay, so... like they, the bar goes into the 1x2 plate with round ends there, and hollow studs. So they're pretty loose. We are making 2 of these, yes. Yeah, I mean, I guess I should say everything should be natural that primarily exists on the prime material plane. That isn't a creation of the gods. I know what I mean when I say it. That's what we go with. We'll have to see someone try to classify the Eldrazi from Magic the Gathering. Those used to be big yellow conical 4x4 pieces for the engines back in the day. Yeah, it had yellow 4x4 cones. Now it has a pair of black 4x4 cones with a slightly larger Technic piece, a former wheel hub on it. Which is fascinating. Like this is not used as a wheel hub, but the outer rim was. So that, like, it's an evolution. Like, they used the wheel hubs, Technic wheel hubs, so much for cylinders that they're like, you know what, we might as well just make some that are cylinders. It's kind of funny. Oh, and of course, like, there are, you know, a wizard made it creatures that are, like mimics, for example. That is a wizard did it. But it eventually fits in naturally. So, I mean, if the idea is that someone created the Illithids, then they could be, you know, then Ceramorphosis could work that way. Don't like it, but it's just not a natural thing to me. Look at those Triforces in the pile, yep. Okay, 4L bars, and we got those going all the way through there. The red lightsaber blades. Yeah, but then things like mimics and owlbears and things like that, they become, like, naturalized by just escaping into the environment and living. But they're also not, you know, intelligent creatures generally, or at least not sapient civilized creatures. Yeah, that's what I don't like. You know, if Ceramorphosis were a way to hasten the process of becoming an Illithid, then I'm more fine with it. But when they turn into giant slug monsters, like vicious, unintelligent, horrible monsters, like, then that tells me someone started them on this process along the way. And it could be ill-sensing, but, like, it just doesn't fit with the theology as presented. Ill-sensing would have to lie to himself, and I don't see that happening. He's evil, but I don't see him lying to himself. Howdy, Mad Martin. How's it going? I'll just trying to justify the owlbear wild shape in the D&D movie. I would not justify that. I would, like... I have not watched the movie, and I can absolutely enjoy the movie while being like, yeah, that's not possible in the rules. But that's not possible in the rules. But it's also a movie, so I don't care. Like, that's how it goes. That's how it works for me. It's a movie. I don't care. But you could do that with a bear as well. Like, that's why they're owl bears. Are they chocolate covered as well? Oh no. Mad Martin. Mad Martin. Be careful. That chocolate might actually be a chocolate golem. I like what I did with the cookie golems in that one weird dream adventure I did for the players. And it didn't get to use its special power, but I gave the cookie golems a special power of ripping people's arms off. The chocolate golem sounds like a terrifying alternative to the chocolate Easter bunny in children's Easter basket. Yeah, except they're really big. There's also plush golems and doll golems. No such thing as chocolate golems? So you think. Remain on high alert. Even if the Renegade leaves orbit, Blacktron agents can deploy for espionage missions using one-person infiltration speeders, disguised as the Blacktron insignia. Yes, disguised as the Blacktron insignia. What's that? That's a Blacktron insignia flying through space. Oh, well. Well, it must be nothing to do with the Blacktron, then. Could you make zombies from taxidermied animals? No. You need more flesh. There's almost no flesh in a taxidermied animal. You could resurrect them, though. You like to eat the eyes of chocolate golems first? Kind of wondering if the whole Ceramorphosis and form that they evolve without host and the whole ambiguity as to support the lore tidbits for aboleths, that pride for knowing everything yet origin of Mind Flayer's terrifying puzzle even to them? Those came about separately. What do those arrows signify? The emergency exits? Well, 2 of them are for the drop pod parts. The Triforce. So there were the original ecology of the aboleth did have a whole bunch of different really weird aboleths back in Dragon Magazine. They really did not make it into, like, there's a version with arms. It's very weird. Oops. Get that on there. D&D seems to ignore that, so I did too when I wrote up the Blood Queen. Piscathus. Not sure any of the Pathfinder ones were from Dragon Magazine? Yeah, probably not, but I'm just saying. They might have been inspired by it. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I do remember that about 3E. I'll stick with just Aboleth Savants. That works for me. Why does it live in Stygia? The Blood Queen's in Maladomini. Is it? I think? Malabulge. Is it Malabulge? It's one of the two. The one that is a stinking fetid swamp. Paizo went Scorched Earth on D&D proprietary stuff after the OGL thing. Oh yeah, no. Minaros, that's it. That's the one that I'm thinking of. Thank you. My brain, it not worky tonighty, kind of -y. I'm running on not a whole lot of sleep. Also need to think about what I need to what to do now that my deity project is done. And by that I mean what other deities do I work on now? I did post over on the blog basically like 3 things that I might do. Anyway, spare parts. We got a red 2L bar with stop and a black pneumatic T. So I'm basically thinking so that's a sensor suite there. Get that connected in. So there are, like, what I kind of feel like are missing deities from Monstrous Mythology, because it mentions, like, that there are local demigods of various types in the Goblinoid pantheons and stuff like that, and I should do some of those. You feel that? Yeah. But then there's also races, especially in Spelljammer, that never got pantheons that should. Like Herwady. Okay. How does this fit in? It's not going to snap, is it? Oh. Okay. No, that's in. Alright. How is that in? Guess maybe it just pushed it in slightly. Alright. So here is the Renegade. So we got removable engines from the back. You can put it together like that to get a little separate vehicle. It's 1987 all over again. Woohoo! It's party like it's 1987. So yeah, like Herwady and stuff like that, and other Spelljammer races especially, they deserve full pantheons. And then of course there's the real world pantheons like the Norse and Greek pantheons that I want to write up. We all know the best god though, Manzicorian the Philosopher. That's true. That is true. All right. We detect a significant enhanced ship's computer compared to previous versions. This one appears to allow for advanced detection and signal processing as well as video communication. We have confirmed encrypted transmissions are sent from this communications module to 6987 Message Intercept Base, aka MIB. The comms module may be detached and combined with the rear booster to form a remote comms relay. Warning, this new Blacktron dropship technology means their stealth incursions could become even faster and more undetectable. Alright, so, let's see. Okay. How does it work? How does it work? Did I get it into... Well... Maybe I need to push it more. Okay, it's locked in. Okay, yeah, I just needed to push it more. There is a soft, rubbery element in there that, soft, rubbery element in there. And then, it's not very obvious, but these are landing gear, and they're not the easiest to get out. There we go. Overall, a pretty cool build. A nice update to the original. It doesn't quite have the same lines as the original. I don't know what it is. There's just something about it that it doesn't rub me the wrong way. It's just like it doesn't quite fit. But overall, it's pretty cool. It'd be pretty neat. Like, again, I would prefer, rather than an upgrade reimagining of the original... See, we can also put those out like that. I would prefer, like, new original Blacktron stuff. That would be pretty neat. But yeah, I do like the details. Like these elements here are pretty neat. I like the use of these cylinders for the engines. It's very cool, and I love the dropship vehicle. Like that's a really neat little vehicle. Looks like something the Breen designed. And we have a nice big cockpit there. Okay, but let's go ahead and set that aside for now, because it is that time again. The off-center cockpit is something you never liked in fictional craft, but you do like the vehicle. Well, the original was like that, the non-symmetrical design, and that's what they were specifically going for. And I do like that element. But partly it's because the original was like that, I think. Alright. Let's go ahead and get some minifigs. Oop, bonk. Just bonk the arm all the time. All the bonk. Have I seen Breen ships? Probably. Maybe? I don't know. It's been a while. I know they didn't really show up in next gen that much, if at all. They're more of a DS9 thing, and I'm more familiar with next gen. All right, so 3. So we're going towards the middle. That is a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Actually should have rolled the D10, but oh well. Alright, let me go ahead and get a prediction going. Can all guess what is inside the minifig pack? Get your predictions in. Whatever one the mermaid is, that is 16. So let me go ahead and roll a... Alright, 1, so that is the Robo Madame. So 8 for Ice-Oven is, that is William Shakespeare. 4 for Bahamut, that is Wild West Wild Style. Five for Not a Rogue AI, that would be Abraham Lincoln. Go ahead and get my timer up. Yeah, I'm much more of a next-gen person. I like the story of DS9, but I didn't, like, pay that much attention to the tech in DS9, I guess I'd say. You predict a Panda Guy, that would be number 15. A Minotaur spaceship engineer, designer, and a Leonin spaceship captain. Alright, get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? You predict a minifigure! Well, Kinshir, guess what? When we get to it, you'd be wrong. We'll get to those, though. We'll get to those. Not yet. Not yet. The silly, silly F1. They're neat, but they're also, they feel niche. ABS plastic building toy. Woohoo! One thing DS9 got right, actors who played a character that was meant for one episode and making them staples for the series. Yeah. Yeah, they did a good job with that. Alright. Alright, predictions are closed. Timer is up. And go. Alright, let's see what we got. What do we got? 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 Alright, alright. That narrows it down to 3. That narrows it down to 3. Does this narrow it down even more? I think so. Alright, 17.37. I think we have the Robo Secretary. Let's see if that is correct. It is a... I felt a 2x2 tile, so it's either the Robo Secretary, William Shakespeare, or Abraham Lincoln. Oh no, it's actually an Illithid! Yeah, Robo Secretary! There we go, get her head out. There we go. Okay, I thought I felt the hair. Okay, let's choose the outcome. That one was 17.37. I'd like to see you illithidize that one, Mad Martin. Alright, so within 20 seconds, complete the prediction. Who is getting the hams? Kinshir and Ab Cody getting all of the hams. Very nice. Lord Canis, Ice-Oven, Vigistry going for 20 to 50. Shield of Hope going for 50 to 60. And Bahamut going for no. Okay. Challenge accepted. I like the hairpiece. That's pretty great. All right, we will go ahead and zoom in. We get to the settings there. Okay. And zooming on in. So, Robo Secretary, she's got a headset. I love the beehive hairpiece. Super secret plan, Taco Tuesday. It's a little blurry, can't really read it, but that's what it says, Taco Tuesday. But good designs on the torso and stuff. No printing on the back, but I do like the torso. Taco Tuesday, super secret plan. Could have had a taco truck on every corner. All right. So that is her. So the only ones left are the mermaid, Taco Tuesday guy, and the lady construction worker. Okay. Next up, Series 13. All right. Nope. D6. All right, that's a 1, so we're going over here. D20. Another 1. So, very first one. Okay. Let's go ahead and start a new prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig pack? Get your predictions in. Let's go. Predict away, everyone. All right, 1 for Vigistry. That would be the Happy King. 4 for Bahamut. That would be the Snake Charmer. 3 for Isovan and 2 for Nadaroge Eye. That would be the Unicorn and the Sheriff. Abcody also got a 1. That would be the King. Let's roll for my die. That's a 5, so that would be the Goblin. So we have not gotten the Sheriff. We have not gotten the Snake Charmer. We have not gotten the Goblin. We have not gotten the Paleontologist. We have not gotten the Cthulhuoid Alien. We have not gotten the Fencer. We have not gotten the Disco Dancer. We have not gotten a hot dog guy just trying to figure out who's responsible. We've not gotten Lady Cyclops, and we have not gotten the mercenary, the space mercenary guy. Minotaur Robot Pirate Maker? A Robot Pirate Maker, huh? And a Leonin Peaceful Space Pirate. I don't think that works. He's not a very successful pirate if he's peaceful. Go ahead and reset the timer. Get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? Alright, just a few seconds remaining. Puttermans, not Fettermans. I do not know that one. Either of them. Alright, just a few seconds remaining. A last chance to get a prediction in. There was a movie about a pirate who sang in that. Okay. Okay, predictions are closed. And go. Alright, let's see. What do we got? What do we got? There's some legs. There is... Okay. 10.04. I do believe we have the Paleontologist. I felt the little fossil, and I'm hoping that there isn't anyone else who uses one of those pieces. Because it doesn't look like it. The 1x1 cylinder tile. Let's find out. Am I right? I am correct. Yes. All right. So good. That is 10.04. Alright, let's choose the outcome. That is, within 20 seconds, complete that prediction. Who is getting the hams? Kinshir and Ab Cody once again getting the hams. Lord Canis and Isovan going for 20 to 50. Vigistry and Shield of Hope going for 50 to 60. And Bahamut going for no. Alright, I like the kind of Expedition Pith helmet type thing with molded hair. I think it's printed, not dual molded, though. Yep, single side face. Get the very cool hat and hair on. I really do like that hat and hair. She's got a bone, and she's got a fossil. Only one fossil, unfortunately. Get on the hand. Was that the third? No, that was the second. This is the second. Get on. Alright, fine. Be that way. Get it on that way. I wanted to get it on the hand stud. I just didn't want to. Alright. This is a great figure. I love the so she's got beige boots, shorts, there's a little bit of knee showing, and socks. It's very, very cute. The torso is great. No back printing, though. Short-sleeved shirt. There is the ammonite fossil. There's the bone. And the hat with hair is great as well. I love it. Okay, so it doesn't go this way anymore. It'll go that way a little bit, but that definitely looks wrong. All right. There is our paleontologist. There we go. Go ahead and mark her down. There we go. All right. Did I mark down the other one? Yes, I did. All right, good. Okay, finally, we are back to Series 27. Let's go ahead and get my scale out. Okay, D6. Need to roll again. All right, that's 6, so we're going to the bottom. D10. 8. So that is the second to last. And we will slip in a replacement. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and start the prediction for this one. Can all guess what is inside the minifig box? Alright, let me go ahead and get the other box put away. There we go. Alright, let's see. Okay, so 9 for Vigistry, that would be Cupid. 7 for Bahamut, that would be the Long Border. 2 for Isovan, that would be the Wolfpack Beastmaster. 3 for Nadarogei, that would be the Jetpack Racer. 4 for Abcody, that would be the Astronomy Kid. Minotaur Space Lobster Hunter and Leonin Space Buttermaker. Well, that is just a match made in heaven, isn't it? Let's get my die out and ready. Oop. Jeez, I keep bumping things. It's like my hand-eye coordination is not the best today. Shocking, I know. It's hard trying to be Lel Bunny. Alright, so get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? And we'll go ahead and get the scanner up and ready as well. There we go. Just a few seconds remaining. I'll shake it and make a guess. I will roll a die, and then we will weigh it, and we will see if any of those are correct. So get your predictions in if you have not. Just a few seconds remaining. Not enough input on dinosaurs being birds. No, dinosaurs aren't birds. Birds are dinosaurs. Okay, predictions are closed. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the shaky. Okay, I'm not hearing too many pieces. So I'm going to say the plushie fan. Let's go ahead and roll the die. 10. All right, that would be the pirate quartermaster. Let's weigh it. All right, 16.3. Okay, there are only 2 that are in the 16 range. 16.3 is pretty close. It's a lot closer to 16.27 than 16.73. So that would be the hamster fan. Let's see if that is correct. It is hamster costume fan. All right. So that is going to go to the weight. Let's go ahead and open it and make sure. And it is indeed the hamster fan. Okay, let's choose the outcome. That is yes with weight. Let's complete that prediction. And who is getting the hams? Let's see. Lord Canis and Ice Oven getting the hams. Very, very nice. A lot of hams. A lot of hams there. Ab Cody going for yes with guess. Shield of Hope, Kinshir going for yes with die roll. Bahamut and Vigistry going for no. Nice little payout. So he's got some dual molded shorty legs. You can be happy because he's a hamster fan. Likes dressing up as hamsters. I dressed up as a dinosaur for Christmas one year. I even still have pictures. No, you do not get to see it. All right, there's a spare cucumber slice tile. Happy hamster fan there. Okay, but that is going to wrap us up. Let me go ahead and mark that one down. There we go. All right. So that is going to wrap us up for tonight. Once again, we had our build of the Blacktron Renegade Redux, which is pretty nice. I do like it. If you like Blacktron, I would definitely recommend it. And one of the nice things is that it has the same connection system as the Blacktron gift with purchase that was released earlier. And it's very easy to make your own for that. So if you want to make your own Blacktron to expand out this line, it's pretty easy to do. That's pretty cool. All right, well, let's go ahead and see if there is anyone on to raid. Let's see. No one is working on any Lego right now that is on my list. So, I want to thank you guys for coming on out. We'll just wrap it up. And we will be back on Friday to finish up the King of the East, Dragon of the East Palace. Get it right. For Monkey Kid. We'll be back on Saturday for some more Spelljammer. We will be back on Monday to continue Dragon Quest III HD 2D, which is a lot of fun. And then next Wednesday, we will be back to build something else. Not space, though. We have done our space sets for now, at least. So I want to thank you guys for coming on out, and I shall see you next time. See you then, everyone.